My name's Heather, and I'm going to be sharing some tips that I've learned through ordering chicks online, going to show what my order actually looked like upon arrival, and I'm going to share my discount code for $5 off with Meyer Hatchery.
So I just picked up my chicks and my kids fell asleep in the car, so I'm just going to go over the things that I wanted to talk about while we're sitting in the car. And the chicks have the heated seats on, so they're fine. So everything I'm going to say is specifically related to Meyer Hatchery just because that's who I work with, but it could also apply to McMurray or Hoover's or Jenks or Alchemist Farms or like any hatchery that you choose to use. And it all starts with placing an order online. A lot of places will ship year round and there are minimums. Like for example, Meyer will ship as few as 3 chicks, but if you buy only 3, you're going to be paying $50 in shipping. So I can't think of a scenario in which I wouldn't just find a way to make an order of 15 chicks. You can split the order with somebody. I live in a town of a couple hundred people and there is always somebody willing to split an order if that's what I needed to do, although typically I end up using all the 15 for whatever project I've got going on. But you can post on Facebook groups, you can post on Craigslist, you can ask around. I really think you'd be able to find somebody to split that order and get it to a more manageable number if you're not wanting the full 15 for yourself. Another option, and what I typically do to round out that 15 and get down to the $15 shipping, is I just choose the laying hens that I want, or roosters or whatever it is that I'm getting. And then, you know, if I have 7 birds that I want, then the other 8, I'll just get as Cornish cross broilers. I'll get meat chickens, and that way it's not adding to my flock in a permanent way, and it keeps a constant supply of pasture raised meat that we feel really good about, and it's just sort of a pattern that works for me. So I would recommend, if you're interested in meat birds, I would just round out all your orders with some, you know, Cornish cross or some Rangers or whatever it is that you're wanting to work with. Something that a lot of people are afraid of and that you do need to expect is that it is possible that you're going to have a chick not survive the trip, and that of course is super sad, and it happens. I won't say with any sort of rate because I think it's pretty inconsistent and there's so many factors. I will say, and this is totally speculation and my opinion and just my experience, and I don't know if there's any truth to it, but I think that if you are ordering on hatch day, so for example, Meyer ships their orders out on Mondays, and I typically wait till Monday morning to see what's the last minute available and order that. I think it's likely that the orders are packed in the order in which they were received. So if you ordered your chicks, you know, way ahead of time, a month ago or 6 months ago, even if you're really planning your flock, I think it's likely those orders are picked first. And it just seems like if I were packing the orders, I'd be picking the most lively chicks and the biggest ones and filling those boxes with those super lively chicks. And then as you're getting towards the later orders, it's just kind of what's left, like bottom of the barrel. And I know that doesn't sound great, and it's not like I lose a ton of chicks, but I just have, in talking to people, think that I maybe have more dead on arrival because I order so last minute. So if at all possible, I would highly recommend ordering as soon as you know what you want to get. This is especially valuable if you're doing meat birds, or, you know, chickens, turkeys, ducks, whatever it is. So you can plan your processing dates and you're sure that you get your chicks on dates that will align with your ideal processing dates. You don't want to be processing, in my opinion, in the middle of summer or the dead of winter. I've done the dead of winter and it's not fun. So planning ahead and getting your order in as soon as you know what you want, I think will alleviate maybe some of the losses. So I'll show you my order. There was one dead on arrival, which the woman at the post office warned me about. She'd been peeking in the box. This is what it's gonna look like.
So there's all these beautiful chicks, and I do have one dead on arrival Lavender Orpington over here. But everybody else looks amazing. I've got Lavender Orpingtons. I've got some meat chickens. You can see how much bigger they are even as babies. I've got some blue lace red Wyandottes, some splash Marans, a black copper Maran, and I am splitting this order. Oh, and an olive acre. I'm splitting this order with one other person. So you can see here, it's got your order number. It's got what they sent you. And then down here, you're gonna get some grow gel. You add this to water, and I'll show that in a little bit, and that's just to get them a little head start. And then just some other little inserts.
And I have their brooder set up and preheated since yesterday, just to give the panel plenty of time to reach temperature. I had my seat warmers going when I went to pick them up, and I've come straight home, and then of course I filmed this video, which I think 6 minutes into now. So I'm gonna head inside and get them all settled. I've got the chicks in their brooder and got everybody set up and the kids taken care of. So if you're interested in my brooder setup, I do have a whole other video on that and in how to acclimate the new chicks and everything. So I guess the only other things I want to add, as far as like the dead on arrival chick, you just reach out to customer service and they'll refund your money. If there's more significant losses, sometimes they'll reship your order. It's really just like collaborating with them and figuring out what the solution's going to be, but they'll take care of you. So don't like worry about that. It is a bummer, but it is kind of part of it sometimes. So I think the main things really are just to plan ahead as far in advance as possible, to make your order count and really get your money's worth. Don't pay the ton of extra shipping. Like find somebody to split the order, add some meat chicks, whatever you need to do to not pay that $50 shipping fee, get it down to $15. Be really prepared to pick up your chicks as soon as you get the call from the post office. Like head straight out, have their brooder set up and preheated and everything like that. And then just be ready to identify your chicks. If you aren't dealing with baby chicks, you know, more than once or twice a year, you might not be able to identify them right off the bat. So Meyer has a chick identification tool, and that's super helpful to figure out who you have. Other than that, I will put my affiliate code for $5 off with Meyer right here. So definitely use that. It's $5 off of 50 if you decide to go with Meyer. And I think that's about it. Thank you guys for watching.